Hey guys, it's me, Lily, and for today's video, I really did not know what I wanted to film today because I knew I wanted to get a video out. I've been just like in a weird, not that I'm not motivated, but I just don't know what to film. I really want to post more vlogs, and tomorrow I'm going to New York, so I'm gonna vlog that whole experience, but I wanted to get a sit down video before I post that. I used to be the biggest overthinker. It was so hard for me to manifest anything at all. And now I feel like it's really honestly easy for me to manifest, and I'm going to teach you how. As an overthinker, I have mastered manifestation. My number one thing I want to bring up is with manifestation, you have to be delusional. And a lot of times when someone is an overthinker, you think of every sort of possible situation, right? Being delusional by definition is believing in something that is not externally, keyword externally, in your presence. Meaning it's not in the physical. If you are into manifestation, you know that the whole kind of concept of it is if you believe it, if you think it, it'll manifest into reality. Now, hang on with me here. When you're an overthinker, you think of every possible situation. So let's say I want my dream job, right? I applied, got an interview, and now I'm waiting to hear back. I can start thinking of all the possible solutions. What if they hated that last sentence I said? What if my availability is not what they're looking for? What if they interview someone who's has more experience than me? You start thinking of all the possible situations, right? You're making those situations be external. You're believing, I call it like fairy tales. You're making up fairy tales in your head that are not externally here. And when you practice manifestation, you are kind of like believing or accepting that this is the reality. And obviously, I'm not gonna lie, everyone has thoughts. I'm not saying to not think of things ever, because if you're an overthinker, and this is what pisses me off about the self-help community, is they make it seem like, oh, just be positive, oh, just da da da. It's really hard when you're an overthinker and when you have when you struggle with depression and anxiety. And it's not that I don't let those thoughts, it's not that I don't get those thoughts, but I see it as if it's a fly and the fly is coming. What if someone else has more experience than me? And I literally swat it. Or I think of it as a train. What if someone has more experience than me? What if da 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 da? What if I didn't speak how I was supposed to speak? I literally see my thoughts as things going by. And I tell myself I get to choose what I want to resonate with. What if my last sentence was super good and it made them want me? Ooh, what if I have more experience more than anyone else? I like that one. I'm going to take this one with me. Or think of those sushi conveyor belts. Yes, I like that thought. I don't like that thought. I'm going to let it pass, I really like this quote that was it's not your first thought, it's your second thought. And that honestly changed everything, because you will get thoughts, doubtful thoughts. And as an overthinker, it's your job to let those doubtful thoughts kind of just pass or float by. Also, when you overthink, you're thinking of all the possible situations. And I have bad ADHD and anxiety, so I get into a very bad spiral, right? One thing that has helped me is you need to learn that some things you can't control. Once you know that it's not in your control, you need to know that you are going to make yourself miserable. And I mean miserable, thinking of any negative things. When I start to overthink, I start to do gratitude, because let's say, I said, you want this dream job, right? In my head, what I think is okay, I am gonna get this dream job because I'm delusional enough to believe I'm gonna get this dream job. But in the meantime, I'm gonna be enjoying myself. If I already had this job, like what would I be doing? Because at the end of the day, we can put things on such a pedestal, and this will help us like not even have it up here. So like, okay, when I have this job, what am I going to be doing? Okay, well, honestly, because I don't know why, like ever, like you, I feel like we're always waiting for something to happen to act. So I was like, okay, if I get this job, I'm gonna start working out more because I'll have more free time. You know what? Let me prepare for this. So like I'm gonna start implementing workouts so that when I get the job, I'll already have my routine down, and then when I get the job, I'll start going more frequently. Or you know what? I think I'm gonna dye my hair blonde because when I get this job, I wanna be a blonde. I'm dyeing my hair blonde before I even get the job. Before you even hear anything, because you're preparing for it and you're acting like you already have it. When you prepare for it, you start to feel better about yourself because you're doing the things that you would do if you had this job. You're planning out things and making yourself into the identity of the person who has what you want. And that helps me with overthinking because I get to think about what my identity is going to be with this thing I'm trying to manifest, and I really focus on shifting into that identity, and it, in a way, it kind of takes the focus off the actual thing I'm trying to manifest into the physical. When I was in high school, I did a presentation on Buddhism. I had to research a religion, and I chose Buddhism. And me saying this is not me saying that you need to be a Buddhist, but they have this really interesting idea that I love and that I think a lot of people should adapt. It was basically in Buddhism that there is this rich prince who basically money couldn't buy him happiness, and you know, he had everything in the land and he just wasn't happy. He realized that happiness comes within and it's not anything, you know, external. And as an overthinker, this ideology has helped me when trying to manifest. So I'm already doing all the things of, you know, like telling myself I can't control everything, you know, and then just shifting into the new identity of the version of myself that I see that has what I want. I also think in my head, like, what is this thing gonna bring me happiness from? So like if it's my dream job, let's say like, okay, well, this is gonna give me more money. And with that money, like what am I really seeking? Well, with this money, you know, I'm seeking to buy myself, you know, more. I want to move into a bigger place. Okay, when I move into a bigger place, like, why is that important? Because I want to start a family and I want, you know, more room for my family. So then I start kind of thinking of the bigger picture, and it makes the manifestation seem like a small piece of it. And I tell myself like, okay, well, this is all because I want a family, but you know what, that's gonna come one day. Like, I need to find the happiness within, or like, why do I want to, I don't know, like, literally just start psychoanalyzing yourself. And I know it sounds crazy, but I started thinking, okay, like, you know what, I'm young right now, and this family is going to come to me one day, but in this present moment, I need to make sure I'm happy. And while I am like this age, what fun things can I do? What things can I do to keep me happy? Because this job, like, for all I know, I can get a better job a year from now, and maybe this opportunity is not coming up to me because in a year from now I'm gonna get a better job where I meet my husband, and that's how I'll start my family. So I just need to be happy and go with the flow of life. Like, this money, this house, this new car, this, all of this is not gonna make me happy. Like, I genuinely need to find what it is, what's happiness within me. And like I said, like, honestly, it takes the focus out of the manifestation, which you are kind of supposed to let go with manifestation. And it makes you like overthink more of yourself and see internally why this manifestation or this idea you're like trying to get into reality means so much to you. And you start to understand yourself. And honestly, I really like doing this because it kind of shifts your overthinking into something more beneficial and discovering yourself. I do think in manifestation you do need to let go, because your body is kind of like the vessel, and your mind is what creates your reality. So your body is your conscious vessel that's physical, and subconsciously, you're creating your reality. Your subconscious can't see like what is reality. It just feeds what you tell it, which is why when you affirm to yourself, it works, or when you manifest, things work, because your subconscious takes this as reality, and within incident of events, it makes sure that what you are manifesting becomes a reality. I know it sounds crazy, but you kind of got to be delusional to be able to manifest. And I have manifested so much things that I didn't even think were possible. But yeah, as an overthinker, I don't think you're supposed to be like really like positive. Like if you're not just a go-lucky, happy, positive person, then I feel like unless your manifestation identifies that, I don't really see the need on why you would have to fake like all this, like I'm so positive because I'm trying to manifest something, like just be yourself, just be authentic, and really try to shift into this identity of when you already have it. At the end of the day, I always just tell myself everything is gonna work out, and it always kind of ends up working out in my favor. That's because I affirm that, and that's why affirmations are also very important for overthinkers. And if you guys could watch my last video where I talked a little bit on that, and I do want to talk more about it, but yes, affirmations are amazing for manifesting, because you're also reprogramming your overthinking brain. Overthinking, it does come from like anxiety or ADHD, or you start to spiral, but you can reprogram your mind, and you can teach your mind what you want it to focus on. I have manifested a bunch of free flights this year. I've manifested my best friend. I've manifested losing weight. I've manifested getting paid the amount that I wanted, even more than I wanted. And I have manifested all this stuff this year. You could literally see my vision board. Like, I have manifested all this stuff, and I struggle with overthinking. So I just want you guys to know that it's very much possible, and don't give up on yourself. I know it seems very hard, but yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna end this video. I'm really excited for you guys to see my vlog. Please watch it. I know I feel like a lot of people enjoy these videos more, but I also really love vlogging, so check that out. And well, when it's uploaded, I don't know, I'm sure this will be up first, because I'll probably edit this on the plane. But yeah, hope you guys have a beautiful day. Love you so much, and I'll see you guys later.